If you're looking for a really quick way to make some PowerPoint slides and also slides that look really professional, then this is the video for you. In Canva, and even in the free option, you can use their AI technology to actually produce your slides. You simply write a description of what your slides are about, and Canva will do the best it can to actually produce all the slides. You can then go in and edit those slides, and incredibly, even in the free tool, you've got access to the graphics and all the pictures, all the charts, etc. that are available. It really is incredible what they give you for free. Really hope you like this video, and as always, if you do, please like it, please share it, please comment on it, and of course join me on my YouTube channel. And one final thing, people always ask me, how do I make my videos? This isn't a commercial talk, but I use a tool called Camtasia. I'll put a link below so that you can download and try out Camtasia for free if you want. There's also 2 links below if you want to buy Camtasia, and with my links you get an extra 10% discount, and also there's a link so that you can learn to use Camtasia. It takes you for a complete course in Camtasia, and that's free. Right, let's get going, working with Canva, the free option, and making slides as quickly as you can. So you will need to create an account. I've created an account with my Google account. Now this is a free option. I'm not looking at the paid option. I do actually have a paid account, but I want to look at the free option. And what we're going to focus on is creating a presentation. Now, one of the best ways to start is to click on Magic Studio. It's the AI technologies that are available in Canva, and there are a number of them. And then click on this one here, Magic Design for Presentations. Click on that, and then click on Try Magic Design. Now there's a reason why we're doing this, because this way of working means that we can actually get Canva to do a lot of the initial work if we write in a really clear explanation of what we want. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to write in a description here. I'm going to say presentation, okay, about using pictures in language lessons. So I want to do a presentation about the use of images and pictures in a language lesson. I'm going to press on enter, and what actually happens is that Canva will try to produce a basic presentation for me. Now the results have come up, and you'll notice that we've got here the new Magic Design, and this is the section where we've got our kind of options of presentations that have been pre-produced. Here below are other results, other templates that we can use. So we're going to keep away from this for now. We're going to focus predominantly on these presentations here at the top, because they've been handmade for the search term that we wrote in here. So if I was to, let's just flick through and see if anything looks interesting. Let's say if I roll over it, and you can see now it's just flicking through and showing me what the presentation looks like. Now I can just move to another one. Let's just go to another one. Let's say I want to work with this one here. Again, I can roll over. Now we can still make loads of changes to this, but we can use it as an initial starter. So let's say, for example, in fact, I can click here and click on See All, and it's going to show me all the possible presentations, and I kind of like that one. Okay. Now I will need to look at it in more detail. Remember, we can change many aspects of it anyway, but often this is a really good way to start, because it adds images in that might be useful to you, that are linked to your topic. It may give you some nice, interesting headers. So it cannot, in a way, it can help you to actually plan. I'm going to go with this one, so I'm going to click on it. And now I'm going to say apply selected pages, or apply all 7. Now I'm going to use all 7 pages because we can always delete the pages afterwards anyway. So I click here, and now we've got our presentation. Now obviously we can make changes, but we have got our presentation, and that will actually include as well some transitions from one video or one slide to the next. It really does do a lot of the work for us. Now, one thing, just before we start editing, I just want to show you that you can actually have a quick look at this presentation and see what it already looks like. So if you click on Present up here, okay, and just click here on Present, then you're going to see that this is the presentation, and I can click through. There's page 2, go to page 3, go to page 4, go to page 5, and you can see it even includes animations in it as well. Okay, so you get a really good indication of what it's been, or what's being produced for you. Now of course you can come in now and edit and change the text. This is a very clear and simple presentation, so it's a really good one to work with. Obviously one thing about this presentation is that it will include watermarks because we're using the free option. So just press on F11 to come out of that presentation, and now let's have a look at some of the design options that we've got. So I'm just going to show a couple of really powerful things. I'm going to click over onto this slide here. I'm going to come up to the top here. I'm going to choose elements, and I'm going to write the word pictures in. And what's going to happen is it's going to search for, and then we've got graphics, photos, videos, all related to the topic of pictures. And if we click through here, now you'll notice that some of the things are only in the Pro account, but not all of them are. Now I like this one here. I'm going to just drag this and switch that picture. So if I drag that off, now suddenly we've got this picture on the screen, okay, which I prefer. So this is a really nice feature because of course it adds the picture but it keeps the dimensions. So often what happens is, because I do really use this technique to make my presentations, is that I'll look at the presentation and I'll think, well, I like that design and I want to use that again a bit later on, but obviously change the text. So what I can do is right click and click on duplicate page, and then I can say, right, okay, I want that slide also here. And then the next thing I'm going to do, of course, is come into that particular slide and edit the context or edit the text inside it, etc. And we're going to look at that in a minute. Now, the next thing I want to show you is something really interesting that I was so glad when I came across this. I'm going to click back onto the design. So we've got these three buttons here: templates, layout, and styles. Now, if I click on, say, for example, this image here, okay, or sorry, this slide, what I can do is click on layouts, and I can actually choose a completely different layout for that particular slide. So you've got quite a lot of control. Now I really like this. So for example, just to show you, I could click on this one, okay, and say that I want that layout. Now what I could do is I could come down to the images. So I'll click on elements and I'll click on photos, and I'll just do this very quickly to show you. What I could do now is drag that image into that one, and that image into that one, and that image into that one. So this ability to be able to change any of the layouts, when I discovered this, was so useful and something that I frequently do. Now, another really useful feature is the fact that if you go to any slide, and let's say take this one as an example, if we click here, really interesting is that you get this kind of option of choosing other colors that are kind of connected to the document. In other words, other colors that are being used in the presentation. Okay, and it also will grab the colors of the photo and offer those to you, because obviously what it's saying is, well, look, if you want to keep this consistent, then use these colors because they're the ones that are being used in all the other presentation slides, or use the colors from the image because obviously that way it will match. So this is really useful. So just to take an example, I'm going to click over to this color here. Notice that it updates the color of the background, but it tries to keep a harmony between the colors in the different slides. I'm presuming that any of these colors that we've got on offer here can be found in at least one of the other slides that's obviously in the collection of slides that we've so far currently currently using. Now this is really useful because that way you're creating some kind of harmony in your slides, and if you're not a very good designer like me, then this is really useful. Now, of course, you can upload your own pictures into the presentation. So if we say, for example, click on this image here, okay, and we then come over to uploads, and it will actually show us any images that we've currently uploaded, but we can also click on upload file and then grab an image from our own computer and add that. So for example, let me just click on presentation images, and I'm going to click on, for example, this one here. I could upload that image, and then I've obviously, once I've uploaded that image, I could drag that picture and drag that in, and it will replace. So you're not always limited to just using the images that are in elements, and notice that elements has lots of things: graphics, photos, videos, shapes, and in fact the elements section is really rich. There's really a lot of stuff here, and I will spend a little bit of time on it in a minute. So if you click up onto the elements, and as I said, you've got all these different things, shapes and colors, you can literally just do a search. So I'm going to write, for example, the word football in, and we're just going to do a search. And what's going to happen is, if I click on, for example, photos, it's going to show me all sorts of photos that are related to the topic of football. If I click on graphics, I presume it's going to do the same. If I click on videos, presumably there's going to be loads of video footage. Now notice, of course, that if you see this pro sign, that means that it's not available in the free option. But there are many images, videos, graphics that are available completely for free and can be added to your project. Just a super quick break from the video. If you do like this training video and you want more free videos, then come over to teachertrainingvideos.com. Loads more content. You'll see lots of stuff on the opening page. If you want to keep up with my work, the best thing you can do is sign up to the newsletter. You'll get one video every week from YouTube where I focus on different technologies, but you'll also get a kind of free 14-part course which basically highlights the most popular technologies that I've made videos on my YouTube channel. If you want to go that bit further and really get involved in the training and learning, particularly about the new AI technologies that are emerging onto the market, then join me on Patreon. Every week I do a detailed high quality video where I take you through a particular tool and show you exactly how it works, and we're really focusing on some of the new emerging AI technologies. Thanks ever so much, and let's get back to the video. Now of course we can add new slides. I'm going to click on here and it's just going to add a new slide, and then of course once we've added a new slide we could click up on design, we could click up on layouts, and we could choose a completely different layout for this page. So for example, I'm going to say let's do this one here, and suddenly now I've got my two topic ideas. Okay, so you can always add a slide, and that slide instantly is just a very simple slide, but then click over, make sure you're on design, click onto layouts, and of course you've got absolutely masses of options in terms of the way that you want that slide to be organized. Now you can even take this a little bit further. If we click down to elements, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look on, let's put graphs in. This is okay, let's choose bar graphs. We're going to get loads and loads of bar graphs, and if we was to click, for example, in this case on the shapes, in fact it probably won't be shapes, it will be graphics. Okay, we're going to get loads and loads of bar graphs that we could add in. This element area honestly is so rich. There are so many different things. Even if we click here on charts, look at the number of charts you've got. But in fact you could, search for all sorts of things. Let's say for example I want to show something to do with connectivity. Okay, so I'm looking for some sort of graphic to show connectivity, so I've clicked on that now. I'm going to come back to, for example, shapes. Let's have a look which ones. Let's click on graphics, and suddenly I get loads of different graphics connected to that particular topic. So then of course what you can do is onto your plain image here is just simply drag a graphic. Now if you drag a graphic on, you can make it bigger and smaller, and of course you can change the colors of the graphic as well. Okay, so you've got plenty of choices there. You can delete, you can duplicate as well if you wanted to have the graphic twice for some reason onto the screen, and then of course you can click here and update the colors if you want to. Okay, so you've also got that choice as well. And it's amazing what you can do, and amazing what you can do for free. The fact that all of these options are free. I can't emphasize how much time you need to spend on elements. I keep doing searches and finding stuff and saying, oh wow, that's really useful. And it's absolutely amazing how much content is there. Now I've never mastered exactly how the text boxes work. There's various things to keep in mind because sometimes objects are grouped together, but let me just give you, I'm going to double click, and that will allow me, for example, to come in and edit. Okay, so that's the most obvious thing that you might want to do is just simply change the text, and I'm going to do the same down here. Double click, and then I'm going to actually delete that completely off the screen, so I can do that as well. Once you finish, kind of click off. Now another thing you might want to do is just click on the object itself and delete it. So I'm going to delete this completely. and I'm going to delete this. Well, this one's empty anyway. It doesn't actually matter for that particular object now because it was empty. So now I'm going to come over to here and I'm going to click on subheading. So I'm in text. I'm going to click on and add a new subheading. So I drag that onto the screen. And then remember that, and this is quite nice actually, I can obviously come up to the top here and choose a different. Now, what I like is that it recommends other fonts that are kind of associated with that particular set of slides. So let's say I go to Open Sans. So it's probably suggesting these fonts because they're actually being used in the presentation. Or it does provide me with other recommended fonts that I guess are kind of connected. And of course I can start writing. So I'm going to put this, for example, I'm just going to double click on the screen, double click on the screen and just change this out. So this is my new title. So double click to open it up. And one thing I really do like is, watch this. I can just, once I've just written it, I can then decide, right, okay, and let it watch it slowly grow until I get to the size that I want. Okay, clicking on it again. Of course, if I wanted to switch over and use a different font type, then let's say I choose Rocker 1 in this case, then it will update. So it is very, very easy to update the text and to update the different objects on the screen. Sometimes, as I said, you have to ungroup them. That is when in this case, the title and the text are connected together, and you might want to ungroup it just to make it easier to focus on whatever object it is that you want to write on. So I'm going to double click now on, going to click off the screen a minute, just click off because I've finished, double click back on to now just select that one particular box, delete the text, and then I can start to write in my own text into there as well. All right. Okay, we've covered a fair number of the basics. There are obviously many more things that we can cover. We've looked at text, we've looked at images, we've looked at changing the slides, we've looked at layouts, etc. We've looked at using the AI tool initially. You could have a quick look at these apps. There's loads of them, and these apps can help you to do things in your PowerPoint slides, but we'll do that in a more advanced call. Look how many apps there are available to. It's incredible. But once you've done your presentation and you've got it ready and you're happy, what do you do? Okay, now something really interesting and very important is, of course, saving your presentation. You need to come over here on the right hand side and click on share. And there's a couple of really interesting things. The most obvious thing that you're going to want to do, and you do have the option, for example, to present and record, etc. But if we click on the option of download, because we might want to download this either, notice we can download it as a PDF file, or we can actually download it as a PowerPoint slide. Now, in most cases, I'm presuming people will want to download it as a PowerPoint slide. So I'm going to click on that option because that's normally what I do. And something very interesting is going to happen. Watch this. I'm going to click on download, and it's actually not going to allow me to download because I'm using 2 premium images, and we are using the free tool. So the first thing you're going to have to do before you can download this is to change those images. So let's go back and do those changes. So to do that, all I'm going to need to do is go back to the specific slides in question. Okay, and I think it's here. So I'm going to click here. So I'm going to have to delete that. So I click here and delete it. Okay, delete image, and the same here, delete image. Now I'm just going to do a really quick search. So we're going to come up to elements again, and we're going to come to photos, and we're going to want to make sure that there's no little pro image by the photo that we choose to use. So just for the sake of speed, I'll just drag that one in there, and I'll also come down here and let's have a look at another one, see if we've got another one that's not premium. In fact, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write in the word technology. Okay, and then press enter. There's always a fair number of images that are free, obviously. So I just come down, for example, this one's free, and I'm going to drag that one in. Okay, so now we've dealt with the problem of the images. I'm going to come back to share again. I'm going to come back down again to download. This time again, we're going to choose PowerPoint slide, and we're going to download that. Okay, and hopefully that's going to be in our downloads. So it's now being downloaded. I can see it happening here. And what we're going to do now is go to our downloads, and we can actually do it from here anyway. So we're going to click on open file, and that should open in PowerPoint. And there we go. It's opened up in PowerPoint, and I've now got my presentation ready. I mean, I could even do some more additional editing in PowerPoint if I needed to do that. That could be an option to you. but it gives you certainly an indication of how you can use the free tool, the free Canva tool, to make great PowerPoint presentations and do the editing, use images, etc. Okay, really hope you liked that video. Please come over to teachertrainingvideos.com, loads more free videos. As I mentioned, if you want to keep up with the work, sign up to the newsletter. That way you get updated with all the latest blog posts, the latest webinars, often they're free, the new videos on YouTube and any courses I'm running. If you want to go the extra step, then sign up to the Patreon. Each week I make a high quality detailed training video on a particular technology around language teaching, and obviously at the moment the focus is particularly on AI technologies. Finally, if you do need to contact me about doing any training with your organization or with you as an individual, you can do that from the website as well. I'm going to leave a few more videos on the screen now that I think might be useful.